Good afternoon. Dr. Lynn Tanner is a dynamic entrepreneur with a passion for learning and continuous personal development. Dr. Tanner has been committed to transferring knowledge into practice through his consulting firm. First, working with clients like Boeing's Aerospace Division, Knight Ridder Newspapers, and General Electric. He eventually focused his efforts on helping Canadian business leaders to achieve success. First introduced to the power of peer advisory in the United States, Tanner was inspired to support Canadian entrepreneurs through professional learning opportunities. In 1985, he founded the Executive Committee, or TEC Canada. TEC is the country's first organization to offer peer-based executive business development and support for Canada's senior executives. Under Dr. Tanner's leadership, TEC now operates in 13 cities, from Victoria to Halifax, with more than 80 groups and 900 active members. Dr. Tanner is committed to improving organizational practices in his role as TEC Executive Chairman. In 2010, he founded the Tanner Lecture Series on Ethics, Citizenship, and Public Responsibility at Syracuse University. The lecture series invites leaders in various fields to discuss provocative and challenging topics, such as what it means to be an ethical citizen and the demands of public responsibility. For his commitment to transforming Canadian business practice and solving professional challenges through mentorship, and for his contribution to knowledge sharing in education and in business, I am pleased to present Dr. Lynn Tanner for the degree Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. Madam Chancellor.
Dr. Tanner. Gee, that sounds pretty good. Let's say that again. Dr. Tanner. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Royal Roads University Act, and in accordance with the recommendation of the Board of Governors of Royal Roads University, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa, and all of the rights, privileges, and honors thereto. Dr. Tanner will now be hooded by Dr. Steve Grundy, Vice President of Academic and Provo. Dr. Alan Cahoon will now present Dr. Tanner with his degree.
So then this just proves that it's there. Thank you.
Congratulations. And it's my great pleasure to now call upon Dr. Tanner to present the convocation address.
What a pleasure to be here. I tend to get a bit passionate about subjects and life, but I did do one thing. I put on my penguin tie so that in fact they could come out and play with all of you as you celebrate what you've accomplished. You know, life's a very, very fragile thread that we are privileged to have hold of when we're here on this earth. And it's an amazing process as we unwind and follow that thread through our lives. So you have now, and I want you to know that I went back to get my PhD with 3 children. And I have some understanding of what it means to work and acquire that degree and process in a strange and mysterious thing called the academic learning community. You've been engaged in what I regard as the journey into self. Congratulations for your bravery to do so. What do I mean by that? What is the self? And how did you get yourself? And where does it lead you? Do you have a conversation with it? I've spent years attempting to merge practice and theory in the public and the private sector. I'm going to take a few minutes and just talk a little bit about the concept of yourself. It really deals with the whole issue of who you are, the energy and clarity with which you pursue your lives. First of all, some people that you'll meet in life will be mostly other-directed. They'll have their definition of who they are from the things outside themselves. Their school, their religion, their friends, their peers. That other-directedness affects all of us, including myself. The people who I find are the real leaders and advance our society are primarily inner-directed. They have values and norms. They have a self-understanding. They have consciously acquired an understanding as to why they believe something, where they are going, what their momentum looks like, and how do they charge themselves up. And you have persevered in that process to get your degrees. And I honor you for that. There are a lot of people who run on automatic and aren't really aware of their self and the dimensions of their self. It's a very serious internal process of self-inquiry. As you are in a class, and I recall some of the first times that I really kind of got hold of that concept for myself, you basically are facing yourself with yourself. Now, what does that mean? It means that you are really forced to acquire a clarity to mature and to build a persona that you are conscious of, that in fact you have presence that you are able to convey to your family, to your friends, to your business associates, and if you desire to be a manager or leader, to the people who work for you. So I have spent 35 years building a company with my own capital. And I want to distill for you some of the things that I have learned from that. I also spent 10 years as a professor and also other time in New York as a financial analyst, as a senior analyst, and a manager of several countries overseas. So I have seen organizations in various stripes, and I've been an employee. I've also been an owner. I have also counseled premiers and other political leaders. You have been inspired to follow your dream. There's an old saying in business that if you can't see it, you can't have it. Now you think about the people who have created companies. What has powered them to put their own money on the table and to pursue their life around a dream that they have pulled out of whole cloth or out of the air? That goal requires a shift of energy and heart. It sustains you when you think that you don't have what it takes to get a good grade on that test, or to write that paper, or to actually go through all of the hoops that are required to deal with maybe another job, children, relationships, and at the same time stay true to the pursuit of your dream. I look at these maces, and these maces are very important symbols because the power of leadership and wisdom and fortitude and a continuance of energy that maintains momentum around abstract concepts like citizenship are embodied in the symbolism of the mace. As a leader and as someone who may be building a company, you have on your shoulders, whether you're a woman or a man, the lives and hopes and dreams of other people. And I'm speaking to you today with an expectation that you will be future leaders or are already in that role. The mace also represents a framework that has been materially unique in the sense that in Western democracies, it symbolizes something that is called citizenship. And you basically have a responsibility and a privilege as a citizen of this country, Canada. What does that mean? So it's been a passion of mine for a long time, and I've been privileged to go back to my graduate school, the Maxwell School, and set up this speakership. That process of citizenship has an implicit framework of responsibility. Yesterday in America, they voted. We'll be seeing votes in Canada shortly. As a citizen of this nation, it gives you the opportunity to experience the safety that we experience right now. It is a framework that has overridden frameworks like tribe and clan, that has allowed a pluralism and a multiculturalism to live in harmony within the boundaries of Western nations. You carry that mantle as a citizen with your passport, that mantle of responsibility to give and build your community, to give and build a culture as a leader. It's always amazing, and you might watch it as a company changes CEO. The culture in that organization has been built by the people who led it, by their values, by the way they treated people, by the way they included people. Now, where did that awareness come from that allowed them to build a culture that makes people trust and commit their lives and the lives and futures of their children to the organization that they may be getting their paycheck from? This is a mysterious quality in citizenship and leadership that is symbolized by these maces. I hope that you will take time to understand this unique dimension of the self. when you are observing in life, you will see people walk into a room, and suddenly there will be attention. There's a gravitas to an individual. There is an energy. There is clarity of speech. They are able to talk about why they believe what they believe, or to talk about where they're going, and inviting you to join that journey. And as an employee of an organization, both private and public, you have engaged yourself in the lives of your family in that pursuit. As future leaders of Canada and of this community, or the community that you'll be working in, please understand that if you can't see it, if you can't see your goals and know what you want, you can't have it. And that includes being able to see who you are, how you're developing yourself, how sophisticated you have developed your personal view in life and your role in our society. It's easy, I think, to go through the motions and acquire things, including degrees. But the consciousness required for real leadership and wisdom requires that each citizen develops themselves as more complete and total human beings. I want to applaud you for all of your hard work and the pursuit of your dreams. Don't give up. Keep your momentum high. You have momentum right now. That's going to be symbolized as you come up here and receive your degree. The challenge of every president and CEO that I've ever worked with is, how do they maintain the momentum of all the things that are happening in their organization? When people quit, when new hires come in, how are they introduced to the organization? What are the values? Do they have a complete, comprehensive framework of introduction of that individual? Are they made to feel welcome? This culture is a mysterious thing. It's almost as though you are seeing someone sage a teepee, for example. It wafts in the air. When that CEO leaves, that CEO takes much of the culture and attitude and perspective that they have delivered to the organization that they're in. And the transfer and how that transfer is done is a very, very mysterious process. And many organizations don't survive it. I'm sure this one will. I have watched so many organizations when private equity capital comes in and buys them. And it's a owner that has been there from the beginning. They have grown that organization out of their own heart and commitment to everyone that has helped them build the company. Understand your role in building the culture of the organizations you lead, and how you bring the theory that you have learned in your degree into daily practice, not only as you fulfill the role of a manager, a vice president, a president, a chancellor, so that in fact you're aware of the shadow you cast as a leader and as a citizen of Canada. Thank you very much.